And on to the kickoff. Oh, bollocks. Got to realign it. Maybe I can do... Yep, there we go. Easy. Okay. And now, as you can see, it's my turn 8. First turn of the second half. And to begin the turn, one of my opponent's beastmen is the subject of a fan assault via a rock and is badly hurt and thrown off the pitch. So now he only has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 players. We've got our 11 thanks to our subs. And so yeah, 2-man advantage. That's pretty excellent. And the ball lands right in the centre of the pitch. First thing we're going to do is go and punch his... Let's put the numbers up again. Quaverer, number 7. Right. And he is stunned, so that's good. So for the time being, he's only got 8 players. Meanwhile, we're going to go and punch number 11 with our number 2. Knock him down as well. Sorry about these slow down problems. They're a bit of a pain in the arse at the moment. They make it all visually a little bit shitty. Going to go and punch Matchsticks with our number 12. Knock him down as well, so we're getting some good results here. Just hitting people down on 2 dice blocks is an achievement in itself, because it's very easy to roll attacker downs and both downs, or double attacker downs or double both downs and all that rubbish. So luckily for us, we are halflings, and we have a halfling master chef that's given us 3 rerolls again, which is amazing, and so consequently we can quite easily reroll out of that stuff and not have to worry too much about it, since we've got a reroll for every turn but 1. I'm going to go and run my number 3 up the pitch. We've got a pretty good blockade at the moment. It's not likely he'll be able to stand anyone near the ball if we fail to pick it up in his turn. So we should be okay. Now I can move my 10, 5 and 11 to go and seal that up a little bit more, just in case I'm extremely paranoid, but I probably won't, because I'm quite lazy. I'll probably go and just pick up the ball with number 9 and maybe fail it as well, because it is raining after all, so it will be a 4+. So I do go and stand my number 5 in between the beastmen. Looks like I'm setting up for a foul. And I do, and we go and stun number 11. Yeah, it wasn't such... Yeah, I can understand. Picking up the ball right here is going to be a difficult thing to do, despite the fact I went and just did it first time without even thinking about it. It was going to be a hard thing to do a lot of the time, so I figured I might as well do the foul before trying to pick it up, since picking it up would probably have a... Well, since it's only got a 50-50 result, it was probably less likely to work. We did have a reroll though, which meant overall, with that reroll, it would be a 75%. But yeah, I clearly wasn't too fussed about picking up the ball immediately. I really wanted to get more of his players off the pitch. Or at least stun them, you know, so they can't be used for the time being. So now our opponent's only got 3 Beastmen and 4 Chaos Warriors that he can actually use in this turn. And as you can see, he's going to go and stand them around my blockade. And, well, really just annoy the Halflings. Make it a little bit riskier for them to move around without failing a dodge. But what he is going to do for his for his only blitz this turn is go and attack my number 12 with his number 1. 2 push results though mean that number 12 will be doing just fine, and he's only knocked back a bit. And that was a little bit of a hit and run attack, it seems, by his number 1 there, as he goes and stands back at the top of the pitch. Which is a good idea on his part, otherwise he can quite easily leave openings for my Halflings to run down. Though, as I've said before, I rarely actually do the whole handoff thing, since Halflings are so slow, when you can just be a little bit more secure and march your treemen slowly up the pitch. And he goes and attempts to dodge out with his Beastman number 9 here, whose name is Matchsticks, but fails it and also cartwheels over. So on to my turn 10. Again, I think I said it earlier, I can't quite remember, but yeah, this is quite a shoddily played game by me. I make little mistakes all over the place, and I'm sure there are a few coming up from what I can vaguely remember. So you'll have to forgive me, or else I'll kill you. So what am I going to do now? I imagine I'm going to move number 9 up some point. First of all, yep, going to move my other Halflings around, since I am quite safe here with my number 9 at the moment. But last thing I want to do is move my ball carrier up ahead of everybody else, and then fail something with somebody else, and have him all alone and vulnerable and scared. But what I'm going to do here is use my number 1 to go and blitz his number 5, as you can see. And we're going to defender down him onto that tile that's lit up over there. Not going to actually move my treeman forward though, as I probably going to use this as part of a cage, I imagine. Having said that, it's a little bit risky given that my opponent's number 7 is lying down there and will be able to wake up and blitz my number 9 if I don't at least stun number 7. So, yeah. This might not be great. It'll probably be a good idea for me to move my number 2, Bebop, over to his number 4, Chaos Warrior, as well. Just in case his number 2 tries to punch my number 11 out of the way. In which case he'll free up his number 4 and we'll have an easy blitz in there. So I do go and move my number 2 over to his number 4. Again though, he doesn't really need that because he still has the blitz with his number 7 if he wants it. But the way I'm moving my halflings, it suggests that I will be fouling his number 7. And being quite optimistic about my chances of breaking his armor. Well, we have got 4 guys around him, so... yeah, we've got a pretty damn good chance of busting that armor right here. It will be on a 5+. On 2 dice as well, remember. 5+ on 2 dice, so it has a good chance of working. And that's assuming I am going to do 4 and not put another assist around him. And it looks like nope, I am going to run in there with my number 8 and foul, and we're going to get a stun result, so that's good. And we're going to get a stun result, yep. So now that Mr. Quaverer is part of our wall for the time being. And it doesn't seem like my opponent can actually hit me. Could he do it with his number 2? Not without dodging out his number 4. No, he could only blitz my number 6, move out, and then couldn't even stand next to my ball carrier actually. Thanks to number 8's tackle zone, yeah. Okie dokie. I attempt to dodge out with my number 11 then. But that didn't work, and so he consequently knocks himself out. Or maybe he was knocked out via the tripping manoeuvre of number 4. I don't know. On to my opponent's turn 10, and he's going to stand his number 11 up. Cheeto, and was considering blitzing with his hula hoops, but then decides against it, it seems. Best thing my opponent could probably do here is just re-establish his wall, get all his guys in front of my cage. That probably wasn't a good idea, to stand his sure hands beastman next to my treeman. On the other hand, maybe it was, and maybe I just have a lack of foresight. I can't see what good it does at the moment though. Gonna stand up his number 9, run him to the back. And time for his number 2 to do some punching. Yep, he uses the defender down to knock my halfling out, but stands where he is, chooses not to follow up. And now he's going to run in there and blitz with his number 10 hula hoops right into Ugly Foot Soldier. Gets a defender down and is going to knock my number 10 out of the way. And we've got another halfling knocked out now. So our numbers are dwindling pretty damn fast. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So it is 8 versus 8 now. Oh, my opponent's going to get another defender down. Going to punch number 3, whose name won't come up. But it doesn't matter, because I'll be able to see it later, since he'll be staying on the pitch for the time being. As you can see, that was Fanatical Foot Soldier there. Not that it really matters, because they'll probably all be dead by the end of this game. Actually, they won't, because my armor rolls recently have been pretty damn good. In the first half, I'm pretty sure nobody got hurt. Or maybe they did, but it was so infrequent I didn't notice it. As you can see here, going to punch with my number 1 straight into my opponent's number 5. Sure hands guy. We did actually fail it the first time round, got both down and attacker down, which caused me to use a reroll. Luckily now we have a reroll for every turn left in the game, and we knock him out, so that's good. However, I am going to have to move my number 9 out of number 10's tackle zone, which is obviously going to have to come via dodging, because the only way to actually hit number 10 would involve me having to dodge out with other people anyway, so there'll be no point in that really. And it is a fairly risky dodge. Will fail 1 in 9 times. If it does so though, my opponent would have trouble getting the ball most likely, given that I've still got my treeman around it. Now my number 2 treeman is going to take root, but before he does so he's going to push number 4 out of the way, which actually isn't a good thing because we've freed him up. So that's the problem with failing your take roots when you do a block there. If you don't knock them down, they can run into you and blitz. On the other hand, even if we did knock him down, he'd have enough movement to run in and blitz number 9 anyway. So my number 12 being where he is doing a very useful job, but my number 5 isn't. Well, he's doing a slightly more useful job than certain other players, such as my number 7, who I've still failed to move, who's down at the bottom of the pitch, but trips up on his own feet again. It is slippery, it is raining, and gets stunned. Now into my opponent's turn 11. Going to go and run his number 7 into my treeman again. Not sure why, again. I mean, he prevents me from moving my treatment up as a good cornerstone of that cage effectively in the next turns, but well, now he stood his number 1 there, I can go and punch him to move forward via a blitz, but there's a chance that he might try and blitz my treatment, I'm guessing, judging by the fact that he actually moved 2 people into his free zones there. Question is, what will he do next? He's going to move his number 10. He's going to move his number 10. Oh, no, yeah, moved him to the top of the pitch. Thought he was going to go and put another assist around that treeman, but he might not have to anymore. 4, 5, 6. Yeah, he does. If he wants to do a 2 dice block on my, or blitz on my number 1 treeman, he'll have to anyway. But he chooses not to do that. Tries to do 2 GFIs to come in here and knock my number 9 down, but fails his first one, and so does another spectacular cartwheel in front of us. Beastman cartwheeling everywhere at the moment. It is throwing us off though, and we have got quite a few guys knocked out, so it's not like we're in the best of positions. Number 2 has taken root, so he can't actually assist anyone anymore. First thing I go to do is move my number 7, which is good. He is foolish foot soldier after all. That's probably why he spent the past 3 or 4 turns just standing in the same spot. Number 12, however, I tried to dodge out with, probably in an effort to create another barrier to a cage somewhere, but as you can see, he's gone and been knocked out, and it's my opponent's turn 12, and he's going to start it by using his block Chaos Warrior to come in here and blitz my number 9 Funtime Foot Soldier. He is not going to get a good result though. He's going to get defend stumbles and pushed, but cleverly he goes and pushes me right into the top of his other Chaos Warrior, who then also gets an opportunity to hit me, and if that doesn't work, he can then push me over to his number 7 Beastman Quaverer and try and hit me again. Oh, and he gets 2 attacker downs here, so that is incredibly lucky for me. He drops himself to the floor and gives me an opportunity to get away. I don't think I can actually score though. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. No, 2 spaces off from the end zone. So first thing I'm going to do is use my number 1 treatment to knock number 2 out of the way. And that works, so that's handy. I really have no idea what I'm going to do next. This is a pretty shitty situation. Seems like I am just going to go and run up with my number 9. So maybe I'm going to mark his number 10 with my number 7. Oh, do a GFI. No major point in doing GFIs at the moment. Well, I guess just to make sure that these people that are on the floor can't reach me at the very least. Oh, do another GFI. Reroll to succeed at it. Probably shouldn't have done though. I don't know why I did. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, we didn't need to do that to evade number 9 or number 2. Number 4, 1, 2, 3, 6, 7, 8. No, number 4 couldn't reach us, so I should have just left it at that. Shouldn't have done that last GFI. No need for it. Save the reroll for something that might be useful. Admittedly, we won't be able to use it for our dodging anyway, since we've got the dodge skill to reroll things, and if that fails, it'll be a turnover anyway. First thing I'm going to do though is blitz with my number 5 into my opponent's number 7. Get 2 dice block on him. Now that could have been useful for a reroll, but luckily we managed to get a push result and we knock him back. I don't know if my number 5 is enough. Yeah, my number 5 would have had to do a GFI to go and stand next to number 10, so I'm just going to go and use my number 5 to stand next to number 7. Not that he really needs to, but I guess it locks him up a little bit more. You still have to dodge out anyway of number 2's tackle zone, but I'm probably going to use my number 7 now to go and stand next to his number 10. Admittedly, my opponent only has to roll a 3+ to break out of that and get an opportunity for his number 10 to hit down my ball carrying number 9, but that isn't the hardest roll in the world. So yeah, I mean, what I could do is put my number 7 to the left of number 10 and then try and get my number 10 out there to stand to the right of him. But doesn't look like I'm going to do that. It would involve some dice rolling, and I probably don't want to do too much dice rolling at the moment, so that's probably why. Now, the only thing I can do, well, I can pick up my number 3, and yeah, aside from that, dodge out my number 10. 1, 2, 3, so I can still move this halfling in front of his number 10. Still though, it won't make it any harder for him to dodge out to the left. Unless I do some dodging and reroll, GFIing to get right in front of him. Even then, my opponent could... Yeah, I think my opponent's number 10 could still dodge out backwards and make it around to number 9 and blitz him without having to do GFIs. And last thing I want to do is go and GFI my number 3 over into the tackle zones of his number 3 and number 11, but fail to succeed at that GFI and eventually fall to the floor. Quite a convenient time if you're going to fail any dice to do it at the very end of your turn. That's something you definitely want to practice doing. And he goes and puts his Chaos Warrior and his number 11 right into the tackle zones of those two interceptory halflings. For what purpose though, I'm not sure. I mean, they'll do nothing this turn, perhaps in my next turns at least. They might have some sort of help being where they are. And he's going to go and stand up his number 9. Going to give a tiny amount of chase to my number 9. However, it's not really going to work, because if I get another turn, I'm obviously going to go and score. So I guess he is saving up to do that re-roll. Not re-roll, he hasn't got any re-rolls. To do that dodge blitz with his number 10. But in the meantime, just in case I am an idiot and somehow manage to screw things up, well, not just that actually, in case my opponent actually managed to succeed and knock down my number 9, he might as well move his other guys up, so that's what he's doing. And he gets around here and does successfully knock down my number 9, gets defender down, stuns him, knocks him over to the side, and throttles the ball back onto the pitch a little bit further up his own end, but not far enough really. Does attempt to pick the ball up after that, fails to do so, but at least it's in the tackle zone of that beastman still, and is also slightly covered by his number 9. I mean, his number 9 doesn't really do anything for the ball there, but it's better being there than if the ball fell to the right of that beastman, I guess. It will force me to have to do a bunch more dodges, as well as to pick up with the rain and in a tackle zone, so it'll be a 5+ to actually pick that ball up, unless I can figure out a way to actually get that number 10 onto the floor. So first thing I'm going to do, sensibly for once, is actually stand my number 3 up and move him over. Next thing I'm going to do is try and throw my number 5, I think it was, with my treeman to, I don't know, perhaps give a little bit of an assist over to blitzing that ball carrier, but unfortunately the treeman drops him. Again, very slippery, it is raining, and Halfling drops to the floor, slamming his groin somehow on the cement, and is off for the next game at least, because it was quite a severe injury apparently. Now my number 7 is going to go out there and put a tackle zone down on his number 10. Looks like I might be looking to 1 dice blitz him. Yep, and I'm going to do the 1 dice blitz, got a reroll. Luckily we succeed straight away and get a defender stumbles. Going to knock that beastman to the floor. And I imagine I'm going to then try and pick the ball up. And we succeeded it first time, even, well, it's a 4+. And do a whole load of GFIs, eventually have to use our reroll. And thanks to a whole bunch of dice succeeding in my favour, I eventually get a goal. Actually, it wasn't really eventually, it was quite a quick goal all in all, because we was in a pretty nasty situation, couldn't really afford to wait it out or set up any defences because there was no one to defend with. As you can see, my opponent's beastmen are going to stand back up, and I'm going to get 3 halflings back, which is also a damn good result. And time to kick off again for the second half. Second kick-off for the second half is what I probably should say. And as you can tell by looking down at the very bottom left of the screen, where there is a text log, you will see on the kick-off table, we got perfect defence. So we're getting all the luck here at the moment. Get to completely realign this arrow formation I had and stick my dudes in his dude's way again. So first thing I'm going to do is try and lock down those Chaos Warriors that little bit more. Maybe even I should have put them along the side and stuck all my Halflings in the middle. I've done that before. I can't remember if it really worked. Probably, I don't think it did. But he does have his block Chaos Warrior on the side, who it would be nice to tie up. Block is very useful in hurting Halflings. And I want to keep as many Halflings on the pitch, naturally, so I can not just do annoying stuff to my opponent, but also just to lock his players down. But seems the first thing I'm going to do is put my number 13 in my opponent's tackle zone. Not sure why, to be honest, because he is going to get punched immediately. I could have just put him one space down and at least forced him to blitz. I have no idea why I've done this. And this is the Chinese temple formation. You can see it, yeah? But it's not really worthwhile because, yeah, I don't know why I've stuck my Halflings in my opponent's tackle zones, because they are just going to get punched. I mean, it does restrict their movement that little bit more, but it would have already been pretty restricted. I guess I'm preventing them from going and assisting their own Chaos Warriors, and as said, yeah, that's what deserved to happen. Number 13 gets smashed to the face by number 2 immediately. But yeah, I guess I was preventing him from being able to knock over a treeman. And once one of my treemen is knocked down, I mean, a very large part of the pitch becomes accessible for his players, since it's very difficult to get up. Well, it's a 50-50 shot and I tend to always fail it, so I'd rather just not have them getting knocked down in the first place. Now his number 3 is going to blitz my number 14 so that he can carry on moving after he's knocked him down. Doesn't manage to knock him down though, only gets push results and follows up, so he can't actually use that movement anymore. I mean, he could have pushed him, ran around a bit and then stood in between number 14 and number 3, or simply gone and given an assist on the treeman, hit my number 7 out of the way with his number 12, then used his number 9 and number 11 to give further assist on the treeman so that his number 4 could attempt to knock it over. He could have done that. Could have done that. But if he doesn't knock the treeman over, he's going to get shit in the next turn. But anyway, he attempts to pick up the ball with his number 7. Is that his sure hands guy? No. Number 5 is his sure hands guy. Right, okay. But yeah, attempts to pick it up with his non-sure hands guy in the rain. Completely messes it up. Still has no rerolls, obviously, so he's going to have a hard time there. And first thing I'm going to do is go and smash number 1 with my number 1. I fail my take root immediately, reroll out of that, because I hate treeman taking root. And luckily we can still move with our number 1. Our number 2 also does an attack. He passes his take root straight away, gets a push and both down result, and throttles that chaos. Well, it doesn't really throttle him, just nudges him back a little bit, so that the well, they're not really. I thought I'd completely contained that whole area, but if his number 12 can move, he can move his number 9 down the middle as well. But he can't now because I've gone and given my number 7 some assists, so we can actually punch number 12 and keep that area locked up. So the middle of the pitch is mine. I own it. Having said that, I don't think he's really interested in the middle of the pitch, given that he's got 4 players on the right flank anyway, so I should probably concentrate my efforts on slowing down anyone that wants to go along that side. And so I proceed to move my number 9 to the right a little bit. Did notice I still had these halflings down here. Yep, still got number 11, number 10 that I can also move up there. So we should be able to lock it up pretty heavily. Again, might just be a repeat of the very first half though, whereby he gets the ball and then tries to send it along my left flank instead. So I probably don't want to overcommit to the right flank. Having said that, I mean, the amount of free players he's got on the right flank, it's clear if he wants to go anywhere, it's going to be along there. He won't be able to quickly get the ball down my left flank unless he manages to both pick it up and throw it at someone. And that's all going to be a little bit difficult in this rain with no rerolls, so I don't have to worry about that too much. So I'm going to go run my number 10 up there a little bit. Create a little bit of a wall by putting number 3 next to number 10. And then dodge out with my number 14. And dodge through number 11, number 5. And wantingly stares at that ball. If my opponent doesn't pick up the ball this time, I am at least going to go and put a tackle zone around it to make it that little bit harder to pick up. And he's only got 2 turns to get anything achieved. So it's risk-taking time really here for my opponent. He should really be optimistic about his chances of getting the ball here. Because he hasn't got the time to fail it. If he fails it, I mean that's it. There's no chance. So he should try and set up ideally with the view to him picking up the ball. Believe that he's going to pick up the ball and think about where he'll want people to be to receive it for the preceding moves. But yeah, I mean the nearest guy to my end of the pitch, as you can see, is his number 3, who still is quite away from there. It basically looks as if it's impossible for him to score now. And he eventually gets his sure hands guy on the ball. He must have just not noticed that when setting up. And unfortunately, he still fails to pick it up. 4+ twice, but fails it both times. So now on to my final turn, my turn 16. Yes! Well, I did, yeah. I'm glad to have hurted number 4, the real McCoy, but not so glad that he's dead. I mean, that's pretty nasty for my opponent's team. My opponent was a nice person. He was a lovely guy from what I remember. I don't really want to kill his dude, especially not his 4 SPP Chaos Warriors. So yeah, it wasn't very nice, but it's Blood Bowl, so fuck it. Better that than just stunning him. At least I get some SPPs on number 2, who is now ready to level up. What about number 1? Number 1. Number 1 is 2 SPPs, so yeah, he's still a way away. But hey, break tackle on a treeman time, so that's good. I'm going to run number 6 up there for no reason at all, because there's nothing I can do, and my opponent can't possibly score. I can try and give some assists to number 14 with my 12 and 7, and try and punch him, and maybe kill him as well, I don't know. Alternatively, we could try and punch this Chaos Warrior. Monster Muncher, number 3 down the bottom right. But for some reason I'm going to just put my number 7 into a little bit of a wall so that he can't. I was probably paranoid. That's usually the answer to a lot of these things. I was probably paranoid that my opponent would pick up the ball and get it past me, and then that somehow he could score, even though there is absolutely no way he can score. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, he has got the movement. There's literally no way he can score. Oh, I hear someone dodging, and it's number 9. I'm going to go and stand next to the Chaos Warrior. Once number 11's there, they can get a 2 dice block on him. Overall, it would have been better for us to try and punch the Beastman, though, because his armour is that one little bit lower, and so we've got that little bit more chance of actually doing something to him. Actually, I still could. I can punch this Chaos Warrior with my number 3 and then dodge my number 10 past number 11 and stand next to number 7. But I'm an idiot, so I don't even think about that. I just use my number 10 immediately, go and punch number 3, knock him to the ground. There's no need to foul him, he can't do anything. I mean, can do still, you know. If Halflings are vulnerable, he could get up and blitz and possibly hurt someone, but there's no real need. And I can use my number 1 to punch his number 1. But, just get a push. Cannot emulate number 2's results there. I still can punch his number 7. I mean, I still can run up my number 3 next to his number 7. It's just that little bit harder. But I don't even bother trying to attempt it. What I am going to attempt to do, though, is dodge my number 14 around the ball. Again, don't know why. It doesn't achieve anything. I should have just tried to punch the Beastman. It doesn't matter if my opponent can't pick it up, because can't score. And if he wants to get SPPs on his guys, then I shouldn't really deny him that. but I probably wasn't even thinking about it. I was just worried he'd get the ball and score somehow, because people have done crazy shit before. But they're usually always elves, so I shouldn't really worry too much about it. And if you can see for a fact your opponent hasn't got the movement on any of his players to get to the bottom of the pitch, and he hasn't got any way of throwing a teammate or anything like that, then there is nothing to worry about. Still, won't stop me from being paranoid. Anyway, it looks like he is, well, it's quite clear what he's going to do. He's going to try and punch my treeman down. Does get a defender down and knocks him to the floor. But doesn't break his armour, so he is doing just fine. He's going to use his number 11 to whack my number 3, Fanatical, over here. Just going to get a push result. He still has a blitz in him though, and that is going to be done with his number 3 on my number 10. Going to get 2 both downs, and is going to badly hurt number 10. So yeah, so as you can see, it may well have been worth fouling number 3 just to prevent that, because that might not have been badly hurt, might have been a death, you know. I mean, I still wouldn't really mind too much on a halfling with no SPPs, but what if he had SPPs? What if he had skills, you know? So yeah, that's certainly something that you want to consider doing occasionally, just to prevent you from getting your players killed. But as you can see, we won the game 1-0, so that was good. Got lucky, played kind of bad, but hey, there you go, man. I've lost games because my opponents got lucky and played kind of bad, and that's just what happens sometimes. That's dice for you, you know? That's dice for you. And we are going to lose soon. We are going to lose eventually, and we don't know who we're going to lose to, but they might play terribly and roll nothing but 6s and beat us that way, which will be annoying, but these things happen, because that's Blood Bowl. So fuck it again. And Nick Knack, the Beastman, got the MVP award. Don't think he was levelled, because he's still level 1, so no, he wasn't. And Fragrant Foot Soldier has now got himself 5 SPPs. I'm not sure what injuries we had there. This is remotely important, but let's check it out anyway. Characteristics. Disease and minion flavour. We know that we killed one of his Chaos Warriors, and we badly hurt one of his Beastmen, but yeah. Well, he's got -2 agility. I didn't notice he had agility 2 on one of his Beastmen, but doesn't matter. We will probably never see the poor bastards again. And on our foot soldiers, anyone missing next game? Badly hurt, badly hurt. Groin strain on number 5, Filthy Foot Soldier. Who knows, maybe the groin strain was actually some sort of STD from being filthy. I don't see how that works. And badly hurt on his number 4. Whose number 4? My number 4, Ferocious Foot Soldier. Who will be back next game, and that is our 1-leveled guy with Sidestep. No level ups. Oh no, we do get a level up. We get, even though it doesn't say so, oh, 4 SPP. That 4 SPP brings our number 2 treatment, Bebop, up to 6 SPPs, which will get him to level 2. So there's a very likely chance we'll be getting a break tackle on him. Unless I roll doubles. But the chance of that happening is pretty damn low. And I really want break tackle anyway, so I'll be happy with rolling normal. I will see you in the next game, hopefully. I'm not sure who I'll be taking on, because I still haven't played that one. So that will be interesting.
Bon voyage. Goodbye.